Hi, welcome back. I'm Joe. This is the Ultimate Love Letter. Thank you for joining the conversation. Our habits. What are our habits day in and day out? Our habits will show us what we're creating in our life. I want us to take a moment here and think about what it is we intend to achieve in the future, what it is that we want to build. Who do we want to be? What type of life do we want to live? Then I want us to look back to just the last week. What daily habits have we kept? And then compare it to what we intend to achieve in our future. Are the habits that we put out aligned, supporting that of all we want to create in the future, or has it hindered us? It is time for us to get serious. Anything we want to have in the future have got to be supported by the actions we're taking day after day. I want to ask you if if you've been speaking about creating a business, for instance, what have you done for the past week that supports that dream? Have you perhaps created a website for the business? Have you perhaps been reading books on marketing and strategy? Have you perhaps been listening to podcasts that teach entrepreneurship? Have you perhaps opened a business account? Have you perhaps been reading about tax codes or labor policies? What have you done in the last 7 days that support the dream of opening your own business? Perhaps you want to live a more healthier lifestyle. Maybe you want to gain weight. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to tone up. What have your habits look like for the last 7 days? Have they supported that of a healthier lifestyle? Have you not opted into the fast food craze? Have we been preparing meals at home? Have you gotten up a little bit earlier to jog in the morning? Have you taken a yoga class? Have you taken an aerobics class, something at the gym? Perhaps you want to create more wealth in the future. What have you done the last 7 days that support that? Have you looked at your spending habits? Have you consulted with brokers in the stock market? Do you have a 401k set up? Do you have a high yield account set up? What have you done in the past 7 days? What habits have you taken that will support the wealth that you intend to achieve in the future? Your energy. Perhaps you're looking to feel more energized in your day. What have those habits looked like? Have you been getting to bed at a reasonable time? Have you been perhaps creating space to be in meditation? Have you been consuming healthier foods that give you more life and don't take away from it? Have you consumed more water and fruit and veggie juices over alcoholic beverages? What habits have you taken in the last 7 days that support the energy that you want to have in the future? It's not enough to simply intend with our words what we want to do, the type of life we want to live, but we got to dwindle it down to what are the habits that we're doing every single day, and then really ask ourselves, do those support what we want to achieve? Let's get into the flip side. Have you been talking to your friends and your family about creating that business, and yet your days are filled with just scrolling through Netflix, scrolling through TikTok? You rather be spending time in a club or in a bar with friends. You're not focused on writing that business plan. You're not focused on getting out and actually networking with other entrepreneurs, other people in your that field that you want to go into. Perhaps you want to be more fulfilled in your life. What do those habits look like? Are you doing things that are aligned with your soul? Are you living your truth? Are you accepting the positions in life that are best aligned with who you are, your values, what you want to be in the future? Or are you simply accepting roles that are because someone said yes and now you can pay the bills with this 9 to 5 that has nothing to do with what you want to be or support who you want to become tomorrow? To create anything different in the future, if you're not happy with all that you've created today, it's going to take a change in our habits. Thinking that we can simply just speak about and hope for a different outcome without a change in our habits is just not possible. We are simply fooling ourselves. Anything we want to do, anyone we want to be in the future, we have to create that. And it starts with the choices that we're making day in and day out. If you look at your habits for the last 7 days and you really take a good look, it will show you, your habits will show you how you are creating. Do you have the habit of complaining about things in life? Do you have the habit of perhaps seeing things from a different perspective, a more optimistic perspective? Those habits are shaping everything that you are creating, that you will create in the future. I was speaking with a young professional this past week. She's in the nursing field and she's having the hardest time at work. She's being disciplined by her superiors. Her patients are complaining about her. The family of her patients have been complaining about her. And she pulled me aside and she said, "Joe, listen." She says, "You tell me honestly, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Do these people just not like me? Or is it something that I am doing?" And I told her, I said, "You know what, sis? I adore you. But what I notice is you have the habit of running through this space complaining about your health and the health of your patients. You're complaining about your work conditions." And as I proceeded to explain what I've been seeing, she immediately cut me off and said, "But you don't understand. I am in pain. I got in a car accident and my back is hurting. And you don't understand. We're understaffed. And I have where I would normally only have 4 patients. Now I have 12." And it was just a long list of endless complaints because this is her habit. Her habit is set. She's a complainer. And as she set those habits, life just continues to give her more to complain about. And so, as I was explaining to her, I understand that you may be in pain physically, but instead of complaining that, oh, your back is hurting, how about you change it to say, I'm healing. My back is healing. I am being restored. Thank God that I'm able to work. Thank God that my feet still work. Thank God that I'm able to continue to work. I know that you may be complaining because you're short staffed, but how about you reframe it to say, thank God I have a job, that I am needed. Thank God we are understaffed, but that just means more job security for me. Thank God that they are 12 people that need my care, more job security. What are your habits? Your habits will tell you how you are creating for the future. Our habits affect everything in our life. It affects our business, it affects our moods, it affects our focus, it affects our money, it affects how fulfilled we are in life, it affects our peace. It all comes down to what we're doing in a daily basis. If we intend to achieve anything great in life, anything that is going to go the distance, anything that is considered profound, anything that fulfills us, that satisfies us, it's going to take some healthy, powerful, consistent habits. And that means for anything. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be a singer, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a gardener, if you want to be a teacher, anything you want to become and you consider and you intend to be great at it, you're gonna have to look at what you're doing every single day to support that dream. It's gonna look like getting to bed early. It's going to look like getting 8 hours of rest because, contrary to what society says, we are productive, we are more sharp after we rest. God actually created, designed it in us, the need for rest. Once we're well rested, we're sharp. We can perform at our highest level. So let me ask you, are you well rested? When the alarm goes off, do you get up or do you press snooze 3 or 4 times? Are you filtering life through a drug or an alcoholic beverage? Because I know I didn't want to believe this either when I was consuming drugs and liquor. But if we're putting any filters on life, it is because we are running from something. We don't want to feel something. We should be able to be high on life. We should be able to allow anything that needs to reveal itself to us come to us without any filters. What are your habits? How are they supporting your future? Our focus, when we sit down to write that blog, are we sitting down with our phone right next to us, open? Just waiting for the next text, just waiting for the next notification on Instagram, just waiting for the next phone call. If we are, perhaps that's not the best habit. Perhaps a more aligned habit when you're sitting down to write a blog, to write that book, to write whatever it is you're working on. Perhaps a healthier habit, more aligned habit would be to put your phone on do not disturb so that you can remain at peace, so you can remain focused on the end goal. If you're attempting to get a book out, what are your activities look like during the day? Are you accepting all the invites to dinner, to the clubs, to the parties? Or are you setting healthy boundaries that say, nope, I have to prioritize here. I have to get 30 pages in by this weekend. And that's another thing. Are you scheduling your days? Do you have a to-do list? Or are you simply just going off by the hip? Just allowing life to bring you whatever it is it brings you without prioritizing what really needs to be done, prioritizing what it is you want to achieve. I'm going to ask you again, what do your habits look like? Are they supporting your future or are they hindering your future? Are you consistent? Anything you want to achieve, it's going to take consistency. Or do you have the habit of starting things and falling off? That was me for most of my life until I finally had to make the decision that no, I'm going to see this thing through. God told me, He gave me a promise. I want to test that. I want to see it all the way through. I want to see His promises come to fruition. Do you have the habit of being consistent or do you have the habit of falling off? It's time to get serious. It's time to get real. It's time to look at our daily routine and then take a hard look at what we want to create and ask yourself if they're lining up. If they're not, we have a beautiful opportunity right now to change just that. You know, thinking about just myself, my habit is I am consistent now, right? I spent most of my life being inconsistent, but now I am consistent. That's my habit. That's my routine. I don't give up easily. And when we started the Ultimate Love Letter, I knew there was one thing I can control. I can control my habit of being consistent. And although I would love nothing more but to have a co host, I don't necessarily know of anyone who could fill the space of having the habit of being consistent as well with me on the platform. So, my habits of being consistent and showing up is something that I can control. What is it that is within your reach? What is it that is within your control? Your habits are your responsibility. Your habits are creating everything. Look at your habits today, and they will tell you in which direction you are creating. I am praying for you. You have work to do, you have dreams to fulfill. The answer is in your daily routine. That's all. I just needed to get on here and just send that quick reminder out to anyone, to all of us. It's time to get serious. Whatever it is we want, we got to set the firm foundation right now to achieve it. Look at your habits, start there because that's going to drive the needle forward. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for finding us on YouTube. If you haven't done so yet, however, please consider subscribing to us there. Thank you for following along with the show. Thank you for your 5-star reviews. They make it possible for the Ultimate Love Letter to reach others. Thank you for sharing this for anyone else who may need an encouraging word or a little kick in the pants like I did to get serious about our daily habits because we have serious things to accomplish. Until next time, love yourself and love others. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.